Hello, beautiful people. My name is Kristen. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel to talk about the pile of possibilities for middle grade March. This is a readathon that is hosted by Krista at Books and Jam, as well as some others that I will leave the video all about the details of that in the top of my description box, so you can check it out if this is something that interests you. I do feel like even adult readers really can benefit from reading some middle grade in their life, and all you need to do is read one middle grade book. If you're normally a middle grade reader, add one extra one just because it's middle grade March, and then that counts as middle grade March reading. There is a particular book read that I am going to read. I've ordered it from my local bookstore. It looks like one that I would want to keep, and if it fills one of the prompts, there's 4 different prompts that you can also attend to, and one of those prompts is flowers on the cover, and so I have Moon Garden. So this is a retelling of The Secret Garden, which I just recently read and reviewed on my channel late last year. So this is perfect. It's probably the book, if I had to say one book that got me hooked into reading and the love of books, it was The Secret Garden. So I'm really looking forward to reading this, and that counts as the first of 4 prompts. The second prompt is series, continuing on in a series or starting a series. And I had started Brandon Sanderson's The Evil Librarians series. And so I have books 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is the complete series. I wanted to be a Brian Sanderson completionist, so I've just been picking these up from thrift books or library sales or wherever I can find them. I read the first one, and it was honestly cute and definitely middle grade in humor, just very, very campy. It seemed like something that you would do a skit at a bonfire at scout camp with a the normal twist of there's magical realism going on. So I'm not sure I'm going to finish this series this March, but I'll definitely read at least book 2 to complete my series prompt, if you will, and then we'll see how much I get done in that particular series. Let me put them over here. There is also a prompt to do an author with 3 names. So for that, I have Laurie, Halse, Sanderson. This is Ashes. So the series is the Seeds trilogy, the Seeds of America trilogy. And so I had read Chains 2 years ago, I think. And so I thought this was the second book, but then I just realized when I picked it up to make it my 3 name author that this is the third. So I've got to go, when I pick up from the bookstore Moon Garden, I'm actually going to order Forge, which is the second in the trilogy. So I have Chains, and then I'll have Forge, and then again I may or may not actually read this particular one because it's the third in the series. I hope that makes sense. But it's basically set in the American Revolution with young adults, teenagers who are slaves, who are trying to fight for their freedom, trying to rescue one another, trying to escape that kind of situation going on, but told from the middle grade. So a lot of the graphic level of the horrors of that is way toned down, although the seriousness of the story still comes across. So then the 4th prompt is travel. So I thought it's perfect for the Books of Elsewhere. This is a series that I'm super enjoying, where it's a girl who actually goes into portraits. So she goes on all these adventures, and it's called Elsewhere, but it has to do with all these different paintings. And this one's actually the 4th. I think this is also a series of 5. And this one actually is supposed to have a Halloween kind of horror slant. So not that it's Halloween right now, but this is the volume I'm on, and so it kind of counts as a series too. I don't think there's any flowers on it. There's a raven and a candle on it, so just Halloween. So we will enter into this book and travel elsewhere for the travel, but this other one that I really want to read also could be travel, and that's the Pages & Co. series. This is the Map of Stories by Anna James. So this is a super fun two youngsters, Tilly and Oscar, who adventure into the pages of books, usually classics, nursery rhymes, all that kind of stuff. This one, they're over in the UK, and they're going to travel to Washington D.C. to the archive library there, and they're going back and forth between the libraries because I think books are mysteriously changing or disappearing, or they're trying to stop the bad magic that's messing with the books. And it's just really delightful, really cute. I'm not sure if this is the last book in it and it's a trilogy, or if there's more than this, but this is the third in that series that I will be picking up. Then a few others that I don't know if they're a series or not, but I'm considering, and I would love your input because I don't know that I'll get to all these. So definitely leave me a comment if you are curious about them, and I'll bump them up. One is A Wolf Called Wander, Rosanne Parry. So this is based on a true story of documenting an actual wolf that traveled like 1,000 miles just looking for its home, I'm not sure how it got away, taken that far. Maybe, I don't know, I can let you know after I read it what this book says, but it's basically a animal on a long journey, right? So that sounds really like something I want to learn about, as well as just a sweet story, and I hope it has a happy ending. Another one that's up on the pile of possibilities is by Kate DiCamillo, The Puppets of Spelhorst. This is what I think will be maybe my favorite if I can get to it. It's pretty short. It is the story of these 5 puppets that are in a trunk, and they're obviously in the dark, alone, don't have the purpose of being puppets, and so their discussions, dialogue, and then they come out of the box to do their thing. And I just think it's a really going to be a really beautiful analogy of kind of found purpose, and just philosophical, light, beautiful message that comes together for middle grade students, as well as one that would translate for adults. That's my prediction on that one. I think that one may be the one I'm most excited about. Well, we'll see. I may not even get to it this March. But another one, Margaret, Peterson, Haddix. This could have been a 3 author, right? The Strangers. So there's 3 children that have a single mom, and then they come across a story of 3 other children that have disappeared or been kidnapped, and they have, I think, a different last name, but all the children have the same first and middle names and the same birthdays. So it's like a parallel other reality dimension. It sounds really good, and I believe this is a series too, but this is the first of the series, if it is. There's also another one. I know there's lots of Al Capone ones. This one should be the first one. Does My Shirts. It's set in Alcatraz, on the island that's supposed, I think, in 30s. So, because Al Capone is actually supposed to be in the prison. And this is told from the perspective of children, and the warden of the prison's daughter is in school with several other children, and so they go on adventures and I guess get indirectly involved with the famous prisoners that are in Alcatraz. But it's supposed to be funny and lighthearted, and not taking it overly too serious, which how serious can it be when children are the detectives, right? But I actually enjoy that from time to time, and just going with it, just setting aside, suspending your disbelief that this is going to happen, or any parent would even allow their children to be out of their sight for this amount of time anymore. Maybe that's because it's set in the 30s. That's the only way you could do it now, because can you imagine in the 2020s, parents like not knowing where their kids have gone off to solve murder mysteries or whatnot? So anyway, my kind of random humor there. So those are my pile of possibilities for middle grade March. If you've read any of these, let me know. If you think I should read any of these, let me know, bump them up. I'll definitely be reading at least 4 middle grade, at least 1 a week. And hopefully I'm going to get to quite a few of them, if not even all of them. We'll see, because I do have my March of the Mammoth as well as other literary works that I want to do. I will leave that TBR video linked below in the comments. I'll put them both out at the same time. So if you're interested in other books that I'm reading besides middle grade, please check that out. Like and subscribe. Have a blessed day. Happy reading.